Welcome to Tiny Spark Creative. I am E, your storyteller. If this is your first video, please join the journey at the beginning with story number 1, Abee's story. And now if you're here for story number 4, Wally's story, happy to have you. Something's falling behind me. Before I begin, I wish to set an intention that only the highest vibrations of unconditional love and light of positivity energy is shared during this reading. And with that, let's get started. Wally's story. Abee is walking behind Shroomy, observes his boots, and says, "We have such a long journey ahead of us, and I noticed that you are in need of some new shoes. In the next village ahead, there's a cobbler store, so let's stop to get you a new pair, my friend, and I can help you choose." The two make their way into Lenny and Sons, the village cobbler store, and the bell chimes rather loudly when they walk in through the shoe store's front door. They are greeted by a smiling gentleman named Lenny, who asks, "So what brings you two in today?" Shroomy is who answers when he says to Lenny, "We are off on a big adventure, but I need some new boots, because this journey that we are on is so very far away." Lenny points to a young boy who is sitting at a workbench and says, "That's my son Wally, who is now working as an apprentice at our store, so you see he's fairly new." Lenny continues, "I'm here if you have any questions, but Wally has lots to learn in our business, so I want that son of mine to be the one who helps and assists you." Shroomy turns to the young apprentice and asks him, "So Wally, my young friend, are you also a maker of shoes?" Wally solemnly replies to Shroomy, "Well, I guess I am, but trust me when I say that it's not the shoes I have made that you will want to choose. You want the shoes that have been made by my older brother Barry," Wally said with a sad blank stare. "Because you see the shoes I make, well, when it comes to Barry's, to be honest, it's just that my shoes really don't compare." Abee observes Wally for a moment and then asks Wally for his and Barry's age. Abee can tell that Barry is older than Wally, but the age difference between the two brothers is something that Abee is just not able to accurately gauge. Excuse me. Wally responds to Abee by telling her, "Oh, my brother Barry is 16, and my age, well, I am 10. Abee smiles at Shroomy and says to him, "Okay, I see what's going on now. Yes, this makes so much more sense then." Abee can see that Wally isn't very proud of his shoemaking abilities, because when it comes to the shoes that he's made, he lacks confidence and is not one to brag. Next, Abee asks Shroomy to hand her the mirror that he carries along with him, inside of his bag. Abee tells Wally, "We can see that you are not confident, and we would like to show you something with the help of this magical mirror." What Abee wishes for him to see piques his curiosity, and is what ultimately draws Wally closer and near. Shroomy says, "Wally, Abee has something to show you. She has something important that she would like for you to see." He continues, "But before we begin, I want you to pay close attention and really listen to me. We can see that you are judging the work that you do against the work of your older brother. But my young friend, you are about to see why you should never judge yourself against the efforts of any other." At that moment, the mirror changes to show a 10-year-old Barry who appears to be sitting quite sadly and looking extremely disappointed. And what sits before him are newly cobbled shoes that are very misshapen and badly disjointed. Wally is stunned by his brother's disappointment that he takes in from the magical mirror's projected vision, because for Wally, Barry has always been a great shoemaker, so seeing him struggle is something that he could never truly envision. The story in the mirror changes, and now a 13-year-old Barry is shown proudly completing work on a pair of children's shoes. What Wally really takes notice of most is that in Barry's demeanor, what no longer exists are his brother's disappointment or blues. The mirror changes once more, and now Barry is his current age of 16. And with this last image, the lesson that Wally is to learn has been presented and is now seen. Wally watched as Barry's shoemaking abilities were what he continued expanding and growing. Wally was able to see his brother's growth through the woodwork and leathering of a new pair of boots that Barry was masterfully sewing. Young Wally lets loose a big smile, and Abee and Shroomy can tell that his lesson he now understands. Wally says to the two, "I saw that when my brother was my age, he really struggled to make shoes, but over time, I also saw that his skill grows and expands." Wally could see that when Barry was 10, he was just starting and learning, and he did the best that he possibly could do. For you see, just like himself, the best that Barry could cobble was a pretty badly misshapen and just disjointed left and right shoe. And with the help of this mirror, he understood that as time went on, Barry improved because Barry didn't give up, nor did Barry ever quit. This lesson is one that Wally had to learn. A much needed lesson is what let's try that again. This lesson is one that Wally had to learn. A much needed lesson is what Wally happily came to admit. Wally now understands that making funny looking shoes is really all just a part of his learning and growing. Moving forward for Wally, making mistakes and not giving up is how he improves, which is now embedded into his heart as a part of his new knowing. With this lesson learned, Wally shows Shroomy the shoes that will serve him best for his upcoming trip. A much more confident Wally points to a pair of boots and says, "These ones right here, right there, well, those are great for walking or hiking, and also wonderful, Mr. Shroomy, if you just want to skip." And now as they step onto the path to start once again, Abee and Shroomy walk off with each step much more comfortable and fully beaming with joy. Making their way towards their next destination, each can feel in their hearts how they are bursting with happiness because they were able to help and assist such a wonderful boy. And now we'll get Pebble's perspective. At first, Pebble felt their time might be lost due to the unplanned trip to the shoemaker's shop, where Abee and Shroomy met a young little apprentice learning the business of making shoes with his big brother Barry and Lenny, his pop. Wally was once a boy who compared himself to his older brother, which did nothing but hurt his confidence when he first started working in the family shoe store. But when this little boy learned that making mistakes is what is needed for his growth, Pebble can easily see that confidence is what Wally is lacking no more. Thank you for joining me for Wally's story. And I invite you to hop over to the next video, video number 5, Kenna's story. Thank you. Bye-bye.